check it. Where am I?
Hello. Guess who it is? It's Ian Gibbs, and welcome back to my ability comparison series, where finally, after weeks of glazing and sugarcoating it in the videos of its evolved counterparts, I'm taking a look at the stand that paved the way for Seamoon and Made in Heaven, a DVD player. Yep, the Whitesnake of AUT and Sakura stand is here to bring the Pucci saga of ability comparison to a close. But why didn't I do an ability comparison on Whitesnake in the first place? You probably say to me behind your device screen, flexing those mythical muscles of yours. I just thought Seamoon and Made in Heaven would rake in more views for a growing channel like mine. Wish they did. You should watch them. After watching this video, obviously. But like in those videos, I'm judging AUT and Sakura stand on the visual appeal and combat strength of their respective Whitesnakes, and seeing if they're worth wasting about 120 arrows for. And by the will of God, if you don't agree with that, then I'll subject you to my ever-changing playlist of songs I listen to. Trust me, my taste in music is horrifying. But if you do agree, why not consider subscribing and watching my other videos? Everyone's support is greatly appreciated here. But right now, let's take a look at the Whitesnake of a universal time.
こんな時どうするか。2、3、5。ホワイトスネーク。探すの。前に命令する。間抜け。逃がしました後を取り付けるんだ。もう少し気に入ったよ。ディスクを回収しました。奴の記憶を奴の記憶を
And that's AUT's Whitesnake. First off, let's look at the stand model. Okay, you know what? Primo modeling efforts. 10 out of 10 would manually equip again. Alright, to be fair, there's definitely more to Whitesnake's base model than the put-together building blocks job they seem to have done with Seamoon. But I still contest how they clearly set forth new standards for AUT modeling while leaving stands like Whitesnake in the outdated gutter. Especially since every new stand rework nowadays seems to include a base model overhaul. Just use this as Whitesnake's base model. That's all I ask. You already made it! Well, on the plus side, Whitesnake's moves are genuinely creative. Heavily inspired by Pucci's moveset in All-Star Battle, the AUT developers truly captured Whitesnake as more of a threat than what his power yoinking capabilities entail. Heck, even his discs are fleshed out here, allowing you to store and insert a variety of discs depending on who you stole it from. Here's a probably outdated disc explanation from the AUT Trello.
I like your funny words, Magic Man!
In short, these devs were extremely clever when adapting Whitesnake and Pucci in general, but does this admiration expand into playstyle and utility? Sort of. So Whitesnake's moveset is as dynamic as its references. Zoning, rushdown, target-based attacks. Okay, I guess we're integrating target-based attacks now. This Sega CD is the epitome of AUT's situational combat pledge. But here's the thing. It was built under a completely different philosophy. Here's a little fun fact for everyone. Whitesnake's current moveset was developed all the way back in mid-2022. Almost a year before AUT released its combat rework. You know, when the game was an M1 stun simulator that relied heavily on combo strings. Indeed, Whitesnake is the first AUT moveset of ability comparison that hasn't received an official rework after the release of the combat rework. But I'll give credit where it's due, it's aged a lot better than you'd think. It fits with AUT's now fast-paced and aggressive mechanics, and it has no problem keeping your opponent on edge. Believe it or not, it even has combo potential still. The majority of Whitesnake's attacks have some of the quickest startups I've seen in AUT to date, so in a game that ruled out M1 stun combos, they kinda haven't in a way. Its ground slam move also bypasses ragdoll iframes if everything else hasn't pleased you yet. In fact, even direct order can hit ragdoll opponents, although I've only got this to work after disciplinary knee, and even this isn't 100%. The benefit of being an elderly line of code. Simply put, Whitesnake in AUT is the definition of quaint. An oldie, but a goodie, and it gets an 8.5 out of 10. Alright, next up.
Whitesnake. 私は帰るよ。ディスクを回収しました。ディスクを回収しました。 2、3、5、7。
And that's Sakura Stan's Whitesnake. Not gonna lie, this is probably my favorite Stan model made prior to this game's medieval torture arc. The foggy aura does help things, but overall, I think Whitesnake's design integrated well into Sakura Stan, unlike other Stans that look like action figures left in the microwave for about 5 seconds. Yeah, Whitesnake should look good, especially after I wasted 120 arrows to roll the dang thing. I'm not exaggerating, it's about a 2% chance to roll Whitesnake from arrows. I can't really say the same about its moves though. While there's a unique barrage move in one finisher and a display of American freedom, they're definitely more basic compared to what AUT had to offer. The disc moves only disable an opponent's moveset in contrast to letting you store them, although I kind of prefer how Melt Your Heart looks here. There's visually more going on in my opinion. Also, Prime Numbers has been made into a counter move, which, to be honest, I've only seen Prime Numbers as a healing move in these kinds of games, so quite the mold breaker here. The utility of Sakura Stan's Whitesnake is nothing short of feasible. It's an all-rounder, it has multiple debuffing properties, and it has combo potential because Sakura Stan. But that's pretty much the height of it. Whitesnake here isn't too special. I mean, it does have a palette mode, but unlike C-Moon's palette mode, only about 2 moves change here and you can't exactly run. It's more of a gimmick than anything, and you know how I feel about gimmicks. Not to mention how move cooldowns are unusually long for a stand you can only roll from arrows with a 2% chance. I'm still questioning that. Like, how does it take 120 arrows to roll a stand from an arguably smaller ability pool compared to other Roblox JoJo games? In short, while Whitesnake in Sakura Stand is charming, it's only a little more than the bare minimum I expect from this game. But for an ability you'd probably only get to evolve into C-Moon or Maiden Heaven, it gets a 7.5 out of 10, meaning that AUT has the definitive version of Whitesnake. I would like to thank everyone who participated in the community poll that decided on this ability comparison video. I understand that I should have done Whitesnake earlier in this series, but I know a lot of y'all want me to cover other abilities, and I'm always up for community involvement, so I appreciate all who voted. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later.